Yeah, I think I've been schooled.
Yeah.
You schooled me right there.
Yeah.
And even when I was reading the book, there's one chapter that opened me up. That hit home.
Yeah.
Unlike most of the other chapters, they are also powerful.
Yeah.
This one hit home. So it's chapter 7 actually where you speak about the significance of God.
Yeah.
See, when I saw that title, I'm like, yeah, Frank, you're in trouble. Yeah. and I share so much of what you shared in that chapter. Because I remember when I was coming into varsity from high school, my spirit kept telling me that, Frank, going into varsity, you know, your academic success is directly proportional to your spiritual success. And to be honest, every single time I was spiritually woke and on point, even my marks were woke and on point. The time when I fell off a bit, my marks also dropped. And the times where we started fighting for 50s. And then when I reflected on my life, I said it's because during that period, your relationship with God wasn't as strong. And we get to see even when we come to varsity, a lot of students, they were going to church, they were committed, they were fired up and yoked for God. And when they come to varsity, they stop coming to church. They start experiencing failure. They start experiencing depression. And you ask them, sister or brother, why aren't you coming to church? Like, hey, I'm busy. Why is it important to always keep God close even when you come to a university space?
Well, at varsity, you are in a place where a lot of things can happen. First of all, the environment itself is very dangerous. You know, so there's a high chance of falling for conformity in an environment where your faith is not strong. You know, you come to varsity, people they believe in different things. You are engaging with different students who believe in different things. So if your faith is not that strong, there's a high chance for you that you're gonna fall off. You know. So coming to varsity with a strong faith is something that can be an advantage for you as a young person. Because you know the right and the wrong. You can differentiate between the two. You know the activities that you can engage yourself in. You know. But most people when they come to varsity, they tend to forsake God. You know, they put God aside. And now that's when depression will come. You know, school is hitting them on the side. And now they're struggling to balance everything. And they think that the solution is to cut time with God. I need to focus more on my studies. And they don't realize that that is the devil's work. You know, the devil wants you to get to a place where you do not have a relationship with God. He wants to destroy the relationship that you have with God. Because you know that when you have God, you have more than the conquerors. You know, you can do anything. So when you have God at varsity, when you lack, you know the word of God will tell you that hey, when you lack wisdom and knowledge, you must ask from Him. You know, you ask from God. When you feel like there's no peace in your life, you need to ask Him. He's the Prince of Peace. You know, that's somebody who has God. But if you do not have God, you'll go out there and start to seek peace in other things, in material things. And those things, they will never satisfy yourself. You know, people they tend to go for alcohol, they go for drugs, they go for girls, they go for sex. You know, they go for money. All those things, they might meet your needs temporarily. But at the end of the day, when you go back to your room, when you go back to sleep, your troubles they keep coming back. You know, so I was inspired when I wrote this book by this other guy. So I once read a biography of a man called Howells. So there came a point in time where he was going to a far place. And a lot more was said to him by his grandparent. The guy will say to him that, you know, you may be going to a place that is far from home. But remember that God in the cloud of witness will be seeing you. You know, and that for me, it was a safeguard. Because I knew that whatever I'll be doing, my mom or my dad may not be here, but God Himself, you know, He's watching me, He's watching my actions, you know, 24/7. So the conscious, when I'm about to do something wrong, it comes, you know, like, hey, this is wrong, we need to stop, you know. And I just want to add to someone maybe who have been experiencing a period where they feel like they have slided back. You know, it's a chapter that I talk about here on my book, from the book of Revelation chapter 2.
Sure.
So it is coming from a point of someone who, it's a message or it's a letter that was addressed to a certain church.
Sure.
And God is starting by telling them the good thing that they've been doing.
Sure.
Even you know, in the past you may be having a good relationship with God.
Yeah.
But then God come to despise, you know, the things that they've been doing.
Yeah.
He's saying that you have forsaken now the love that you had at first.
Yes.
You know, and that's what most people tend to do. When they come to varsity, they forsake the love that they had at first. You know, so you need to make sure that you return to the love that you had at first. So you need to return to be that person of prayer, a person who reads the Bible, a person who engages in fellowship with other people. You know, because when life gets hard, people, they tend to shy away from people as well. We no longer want to engage with each other. Because if we get to talk, you'll notice that, hey, this one has not been reading the Bible. He has no longer been praying. You know, so that's a very dangerous place for you to be.
And even there's this other reference of ours that says he once went on evangelizing. He was evangelizing, and he come across people who say, I know I can read the Bible, I can pray Bible. And he was like, okay, he told each of them, but all right, the day you get married, don't call us the congregation, marry yourself. The day you die, don't call us, bury yourself. And that's where the importance of fellowship comes, because sometimes you draw stuff from each other. I think if you don't own this book yet, you have issues, I think. Because there's a lot to learn from this. And then just to conclude the interview, there's a certain formula that's quite important. I think every single student needs to know. Call it the formula of success. The 3 Ds plus accountability and responsibilities. Tell us more about that. Why is it important to know and apply this formula?
Okay, so what I did is that I asked myself, what is it that successful people do? I realized that they follow the 3D principle. And the 3D stand for discipline, dedication, and determination. And I added accountability and responsibility to be the catalyst of the process, because I kind of felt like those things, they go hand in hand together. You know, you need to take responsibility for your action, and you also need to hold yourself accountable for your action. You know, when things go wrong, you must hold yourself accountable and not try to make other people feel accountable for your own actions. So this formula, the 3D, you know, I was talking about it because for you to be successful, you need to have discipline. You must have self-control. You know, when it's time to work, you need to work. Whether something is pleasing or not, you must do it. Whether you feel like doing it or not, you must do it. That's the whole concept of discipline. You know, and it also brought the whole concept of, I think I spoke about it earlier, you know, of attitude. That people, they've got different attitudes to different things, where they tend to spend much time on things that they're good at, on things that they find less simple. But discipline will maintain you to do things that are also complicated, you know, because you know that it needs to be done, you know. And as a person, you need to be dedicated. You must devote time into your activities. When you've got something to do, do not just, you know, come and touch there and there. Dedicate time, dedicate resources to the thing that you're doing. For example, you have a YouTube channel.
I mean, subscribe.
Like you must dedicate time, you know, to make sure that it becomes a success. If you do not devote time for this thing, it's not going to grow. You know, it won't reach many people out there. And you also need to be determined. You know, because sometimes along the journey things are going to be hard. But as a person, if you're determined, you know the end goal. You know where you're going. So you will remain focused. You won't lose sight because of the challenges that you'll be encountering in life. So that's why I decided to talk about the 3D principle, because I know that we need it in life to be successful in all we do. It will be in our relationship with God, you know, our romantic relationship, it will be our academics, all these things. You need discipline for them to work. You must dedicate time, you know, in all these things. You know, you must be determined in all these things. So
for them to succeed.
For them to succeed.
Yeah.
Because if you do not do that, who else is going to do these things for you? So you owe it to yourself. If you want to be successful, make sure that you adopt the 3D principle. You must be disciplined, you must be determined, and you must be dedicated. And don't forget, be accountable for your own action, and you must also be responsible for your own action. So take charge of your life. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, brother, for coming through.
Yeah.
And I think this is exactly the vision I had when I started the channel.
Yes.
To say, let us empower other young students.
Yeah.
So, and what I love about this book is, yes, it's about transition from high school to university. But even for a person who's in university space,
Yes.
it's still relevant for you. Whether you're already in first year or in your senior years as well, it's quite relevant.
Yeah.
I'd like to say thank you very much for coming through that. And it's such an honor.
Yeah.
You know, the word of God even says, for your gift shall open doors for you.
Yes.
Great man.
You know,
And,
like you.
like you, you see now.
Like you, man.
No, let me just touch the book one more time.
Awesome.
And he'll give us details on how to get it as well.
Yeah.
If you don't have this book, what are you reading?
I don't know as well. I don't know.
I mean, after you read that long text book, this is literally a letter. I think I read it over 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
It was done.
It was done.
Because that's how a letter is. It's short.
Yeah. It's short and sweet.
Sure.
Yeah.
So if people want to get this book, I know in social media, on Facebook and Instagram, we share a lot about how to get the book and stuff. So how can someone get their hands on this wonderful book?
Okay, so people can contact me. I'm available on social media, on Instagram and Facebook at Rotondwa Masindi. And you can also send me a WhatsApp text at 076 56 39 754.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think even you can go on to repeat that part so that you don't miss a number, so that you get the copy of this book and share.
Yeah.
It's a good present to buy when birthday for your hands.
Yeah.
Masindi.
Yes.
I wanted to say Rotondwa and Masindi at the same time. And yeah, do subscribe, like, share. Tell your friends, friends, your cousins,
And the enemies.
your enemies as well.
Yes,
Tell them you want them to
yes.
succeed as well. But when you succeed 10 times, they faint.
I'm also telling mine right there. Cheers, man.
Sharp.
Awesome.
Wait.